And Marcus, can maybe I can offer like a solution to earlier when we were trying to see your live demo. What if we stuck around tomorrow or later and we did a little video and put it on our Twitter account? Would that be okay for you?
Yeah, I'm happy. I can do that.
All right, cool, nice. So we have some questions here. Oh, great. Thanks, Lenny. So that's the URL right there, if you guys want to access that and include any questions that you guys have. I have a couple of questions here that were submitted during the talk, and one of them is you were talking about how sharing one language, such as JavaScript, means no silos. But how do you decide when you're in a company where you're using different languages? Do you decide on one? How does that go? Who takes the decision?
Well, your principal engineers, your CTOs, your team leads, it really depends on that. So I'm not like at Nordic we use a bunch of languages, and obviously we're using C and C++ and Java and whatever. So this decision always should be local to your team and is something that has obviously ramifications, but who makes that decision?
Okay, so maybe the question should be, how do you push for a certain language?
Oh, yeah, okay, well, I try it, like, obviously if you push a decision from the top down and say, hey, now everybody needs to code JavaScript, I would have a hard time convincing my developers and engineers to switch to their language. So I have to provide them with stuff like the bullet points I provided. What are the benefits that we're getting as a team? What are the advantages? And I have to point this out and make this known to the company and to the team and talk with them about like their hesitations they have. And there will be stuff like, okay, well, I have to learn a new language so I won't be productive. That's a short-term problem. Because if we, in half a year or a year, as a team, we are back on full speed, in the future it will be easier for us, we will be faster. We can hire more people. We can also easier hire people because we are not have to wait until there's a backend position available and people can easier transition. So these are I have to point the advantages out.
Yeah, so those are really good business cases. I'm not sure if you've had that experience in the past where you've had to push for a change like that. Would you rely on other actors in the organization to push that idea with you?
Yeah,
to create that case?
Obviously, if I'm the only one and everybody's against me. So I had a different decision, not about a language, but basically cloud versus self-hosted. It's an important decision in Germany. So I could have made the decision on my own, but then I might lose the support of the team. So I have to basically bring everybody on board and also be open if my current team does not want, even after trying to convince them, want to go my way. I have two options. I can fire them and find a new team, and that is usually a worse idea and costs us way more money as a business compared to, well, keeping the status quo and working with the people we have.
Thanks. So this is a little bit, we're moving away from that particular topic. It says, so some of the this is a personal question, someone's talking about their experience. It says, some of the frameworks I have used for talking to IoT from using IoT from JavaScript, and they mentioned Cylon and Johnny 5, are really interpreting in the external CPU, or are they just sending orders to certain pins? I'm not sure if I phrased that correctly for the person who had that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I tried some of these frameworks, and I'm not sure how they actually are sending the information. So it doesn't feel like it's being interpreted in the external system.
Okay, so you have been using these frameworks and you're not sure how they, basically your code gets executed. Is it executed on, on your machine or on the device. So I haven't tried these Cylon and Johnny 5. I haven't tried it, but for ESPruino, we have the interpreter is running on a device. So the code gets executed there, and you have the ability to run commands and evaluate JavaScript and define new variables and whatever on the running device. And this is also, if you look at Zephyr, which is one of the now bigger open source projects which tries to standardize an operating system for real-time devices. Also the JavaScript runtime there sorry, also runs on the system. So because your device at some point will run disconnected. So you need to power it on and the code needs to run there.
All right, we're right at the finish time. Are there any other questions that you guys have for Marcus?
I'm here, and so we can, maybe if the rest of you wants to go, it's fine.
We'll make room for that question, yeah.
My question is related to if in certain use cases for the IoT, for example, the one that have high requirement of battery life, is the JavaScript interpreter is a penalty because maybe has a higher energy consumption?
Yeah.
So the
Do I want to run JavaScript in an IoT solution that needs to be energy conservative? That is the question. Obviously not. So as I said, you asked how does that work for Nordic. The actual, like in a real world product, you will be running your C code on the device. The point here is about prototyping. So in a prototype environment, it's more about learning and getting the skills, also starting to talk with customers, attaching new hardware, thinking about a whole like product. And if then at some point I'm certain, okay, I want to build this Bluetooth, this cellular connected toothbrush, then I will probably move away for a device like this from JavaScript. But one of the biggest, like many IoT solutions have no power problem. Many of them are connected to the power station, so to a power grid. So that's why Samsung is one of the big sponsors of IoT and JavaScript, because they are building devices that most of them, smart TV, whatever, they have no power problem. And then there you can run JavaScript even in production.
So to close off, I just wanted to ask, how many people in the audience did not know about the possibilities of prototyping an IoT with JavaScript prior to this? It's a lot of people, yeah. So it sounds like we got a lot of information to take home with us. We do have one last session after this in the Fistro Hall, which is a Yes We Tech meetup, and I encourage everybody to attend. But I do want to give a moment to say thank you so much to Marcus Tacker for joining us today and sharing this, this really new topic for a lot of us, and a little bit of a refresher for me. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the invitation. I'm happy to be